It is 37 minutes after 6 p.m. Central African time as we turn our focus now to the global trade in second-hand clothing. Now, this is once again coming under the spotlight as delegates gather in Geneva, Switzerland for the 15th meeting of the open-ended working group under the Basel Convention. Discussions taking place from today to the 26th of June are expected to influence international policies on textile waste, circularity, and the movement of used clothing across borders. For many African countries, the outcome of these talks could have significant implications for jobs, for livelihoods, as well as the growing reuse economy. To discuss these issues, we joined this evening by Teresiah Wairimu Njenga from the Mitumba Consortium Association of Kenya. A very good evening to you. Welcome to Africa in Business.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
So, ma'am, as discussions continue under the Basel Convention, what are the main concerns of Kenya's second-hand clothing sector regarding the proposals that are currently on the table?
Thank you very much for your concern and according us this opportunity. Number one, I would say we are very concerned as Kenyans because over 2 million people depend on this trade for their daily job. They have been employed by this trade. Over 6.4 million people are the dependents of the 2 million people, and over 24 million people depend on used clothes for their daily consumption. These people without used clothes, they will be walking butt naked. They will not have dignified clothes on. So our biggest fear is the restriction of movement of used clothes. Because when they put on restrictions, Africa, we have people who don't have stock for next week. So even if you say you are not doing an outright ban, it's just restricting. For how long? For how long? We don't have even 1 week. And why would we interrupt a business that has been in operation for over 50 years in Kenya? In Kenya alone.
Right. You know, there are supporters of stricter controls, and their argument is that some of the imported used clothing actually become waste. How do you respond to these concerns, and what is the reality on the ground in Kenya?
So I would want to say this. Every textile that is bought, whether it is new or old, all of them at some point they will become waste. There is a conversation about the end of life of garments, but we cannot be calling our used clothes, which are good quality and reusable, we cannot be terming them waste. They are not waste. In Europe, they have waste management. They have textile bags. If you want your clothes to be worn by other people, you don't put them in waste. You put them in textile bags. The reason for textile bags is that these clothes are reused. Their lives is extended. So this discussion of they end up being waste, we have in the whole world, we have the issue of household waste. So let's talk about household waste. Let's not talk about used clothes as waste. Okay, go ahead.
Is there, do you believe, a lack of understanding of the dynamics of the African way of living and the current reality of Africans?
I believe so. I believe so. So many people, especially the policymakers, most of them have no understanding of how our trade works. Number one, I want to state that African people who are in this trade, they are genuine business people who knows what they are buying. You cannot, in Kenya alone, bringing in 140-foot container, you pay income tax. No, you pay duty to the government about $50,000. Why on earth somebody will buy a container containing waste or containing rubbish and pay to the government over $15,000? And remembering that we have warehousing, we have shops, we have all other expenses. Why would somebody want to spend such kind of money On waste, I want to clarify and say we have good quality used clothes that are coming into the country, which are fully conformed to the protocols of importation. And every country, they have their own way of making sure that whatever is coming into the country has already conformed. Thank you.
So, what is the average lifespan of second-hand clothing when they've now entered their reusable phase?
I want to say that most used clothes are very good quality clothes. If we continue to fight against used clothes, we will be promoting fast fashion. That is guaranteed. Today, if we stop the movement of used clothes, we will be opening another market of ultra fast fashion. These are very cheap clothes. These are the hazardous clothes. These are clothes that does not support even one life. In used clothes, you will discover they are good quality clothes that can support 1, 2, 3 lives. The definition of waste in Africa does not apply like it applies in Europe. Europe, you don't need something, it automatically you think it is waste. When that something comes to Africa, we give it a new life. Somebody will wear it in dignity.
And you bring up quite an interesting point there. The fact that these clothes are good quality clothes
Yes,
that were perhaps originally bought for a really high price. So the
yes,
quality of the fabric is often very good compared to cheaper fast clothing as you call it.
yes.
So you've touched
Mm,
on one aspect of the possible repercussions of these
mhm,
policies come into place. Could we look then
yes,
at the greater impact as well, as far as
mhm,
employment is concerned, as far as the
yes,
economy is concerned? Take us through that.
yes. I want to say this. Number one, this trade employs over 2 million people in Kenya. It also employs millions of other people in other African countries. When we start talking about removing or prohibiting the movement of used clothes, we are destroying livelihoods. We are destroying businesses. We are the Mitumba. I say most of the times, it is not just a trade. This used clothes business, it is a lifeline. It's a lifeline. There are people who will die if this is taken away. If this business is taken away, there are people who will die. Because in Africa, it's not like Europe. Europe, you lose one job, you hop into another. In Africa, if you lose one job, the next thing for you is you die. There is no other, there are no jobs. And this is an opportunity that we have created for women, single mothers, anybody who has almost nothing. They are able now to cater for their families, for their children, and dignify the livelihoods of their people. A man who is earning below $2 a day, how is he expected to buy a new clothes or a new trouser? It's next to impossible. But the same man, if he saves per year, if up to 1,000 Kenya shillings, which is less than $10, is able to dignify the whole family. The whole family will wear new clothes. There is dignity.
So let me ask you,
And
ma'am, my
yes,
apologies. As we wrap up this evening, I'd like to ask you, ma'am, what message
yes.
would you like the delegates who are meeting in Geneva to hear from communities such as yourselves and businesses such as yours in the global south as they make decisions that could, as you've so eloquently pointed out, that could shape the future
Yes.
of the second-hand clothing trade?
I speak for the women in Countermantle Market in Ghana. I also speak for the traders in Gikomba Market in Nairobi. I speak for the women who are working in Owino Market in Uganda. I also speak for transporters, people who are recyclers, young entrepreneurs in every market where dignity is woven into enterprise and where hope is stitched together by hard work. I want to say this. Africans are hardworking people. Do not take away their dignity. Do not take away their livelihood. As I finish, I want to say this. Africa seeks not dominance over others, but dignity for its people. not charity, but justice, not isolation, but partnership, and not permission to prosper, but the freedom to do so. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. What a closing statement. I think you should be there in Geneva yourself.
I am in Geneva.
Are you going to be presenting this?
I am in Geneva. Yes, I will be speaking tomorrow.
Are you going to be speaking tomorrow? Well, look, if
Yes.
your speech is anywhere close to this, I'm sure you'll be coming back with a Mitumba flag, running
Yes.
around. Wishing you all the best, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's Ma'am Teresiah Wairimu Njenga from the Mitumba Consortium Association of Kenya. As you could hear, she's actually at the Geneva Convention herself, at the convention taking place in Geneva. It's called the Basel Convention, and she will be presenting tomorrow. What an impassioned cry, what an impassioned plea. And you really get an idea and an understanding of the magnitude of this market and the lives and the dignity that is attached to it. But also you get a really clear idea of the mismatch and the misunderstanding of life on the ground and meaning and sentiment. You know, what is waste to one community is dignity to another. Takes us to exactly 6:48. This is Africa in Business on Channel Africa.